Welcome back to the College Podcast by Coursicle.
Today we will be talking about how to balance academics and social life.
I don't know if I always did the best at this.
I was an expert at this from day one.
It depends on what school you go to, for sure.
I feel like freshman year is all similar.
Okay, yeah, for sure. But I think that at a school where you have so much going on, the culture is to party all the time, you feel the pressure to keep up.
Do you think at schools like Ivy Leagues, there's less partying?
It's not that there's less partying, it's that there's maybe less expectations around partying. So it's like, at a school like Tulane, anyone who went will tell you, you feel like you have to go out or you're not really doing anything. No matter what crowd you're in, you feel the pressure to keep up with the things going on.
Or is that your crowd that you felt like that?
Well, I don't know.
I do think some schools are going to be very difficult and it'll be harder to balance this stuff. But I also think it also depends on the person.
What they care and what they value.
I went to ASU, which may not seem like a hard school, but most people I know literally could not make it past the business school the first year and had to switch out.
That was me.
I had a fine time, but I'm also, I think, really good at knowing how to study.
I'm going to share my favorite study method with you guys. I would record my lectures and then I would watch it over with the slides, split the screen, the recording and the slides, and retake all of my notes. And then organize all of my notes into a study guide, sometimes with questions, sometimes just on Quizlet with the best information. Sometimes I got an iPad. Oh my God, get an iPad. Did you have an iPad?
No.
I don't know how you stayed so organized without an iPad. I loved my iPad.
I was a paper person, remember?
Yeah, I'm not a paper girl. Everything for me was digital.
I would go through the slide deck that they presented in the lecture and then retake my notes and really think about each thing. Already having been to the lecture, I never missed a class freshman year. Everybody was skipping classes left and right because they were massive lecture halls. I never did that because why? Then you have to relearn all the material and you don't know what's going on. And that's how people just keep falling into a hole. What?
I skip my classes sometimes. I was pretty on top of it. You have to know who you are if you're going to start skipping classes.
Yeah,
calculus at 9 a.m. And I couldn't do it. I went the first couple of days and it was kicking me. It was also a class I had taken in high school. If you are going to be a class skipper,
yeah.
And as a fellow class skipper, I'm not about to shame you, but I will say that you have to have a good plan for it or you're going to start to fall behind.
That is true.
You have to know which classes you can do it in and not. I remember I had this real estate class my sophomore year. Week 2, I was like, wow, this class is getting emptier and emptier. There has to be a way that they're keeping up. So I started to investigate the resources online. He put every single presentation online. All of his Quizlets online ended up matching the material. And all the answers on there match the test. So it's everything looped into each other and there was really no need for the lecture. But that's really when you have lazy professors.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, that professor didn't care to update his material. These are the same materials he's been using for years. Some of these Quizlets were from 2015. You also don't really get much out of those classes. So that's honestly when I decided to drop real estate as a minor because I'm while it was nice to get an A and barely lift a pinky, it's am I going to leave here knowing anything new about real estate? Probably not.
Also, you have to decide early on if you want to be 4.0 or you don't really care because C's do get degrees.
I've always been very good at doing the bare minimum, but somehow it reflects well in my grades.
I've always been I have to know every single piece of information. It's 4.0 or no 0.0. I wanted to go out every night of college. I didn't want to miss a single thing socially. I didn't want to feel bad for doing that. So I needed to do everything right academically because I was there for that. And that my parents wanted to see that. So then they couldn't blame me for doing what I wanted if I got a 4.0.
That's a good way to think about it. I think that you definitely have to have a lot of discipline to achieve that.
During the day, some people were out at the pool, but I was if I want to go out at night, I'm just going to literally sit in my room and do all of my homework during the day. Even if I wasn't going out that night, I would say to myself, I'm going out tonight, so I have to get this done. Because if you have nothing to do that night when it's due, you're going to procrastinate it.
Yeah.
But if you're in the mindset of I have something to do tonight, plan something, even if it's made up, and then just get your work done.
I think for me, it's like freshman year, I did go out a lot during the week, but I just kind of relinquished that like my sophomore, junior, senior year.
Freshman year was like much easier. Freshman year was kind of at least first semester was a piece of cake.
I think my senior year was the easiest.
Yeah, senior year wasn't bad for me either.
Senior year was pretty easy because at that point, like, you really just have the hang of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, you kind of, like, fill up all the credits you need, so you're just credit hungry. And, like, I got to take a lot sillier classes a bit.
Yeah. Mine, like, my major focus classes were easy.
A really helpful tip if you're trying to balance your social life and your academic life is to learn how to say no.
I can't say no.
That was really hard for me because I have intense FOMO. Like, I need to be everywhere, be seen everywhere, and I don't like to hear about the night after. But I think in college, I really learned how to say no. Maybe Siveen's not as good at saying no because she genuinely wants to be there. I was like, frick, like, I should go. Everyone's going. I think mastering the art is, like, when you really are just like, no, like, I kind of just do want to lay in bed by myself, and like, maybe I will have to hear about the night, or maybe I will have to miss out on this fun thing, but that's okay.
How did you overcome that?
I reached this, like, I don't give a fuck place. I feel like I needed to reconnect with myself. Like, I felt like very far from myself at a certain point, and I was just feeling like I was going out, and I was drinking, and I was doing all these things, and I just wasn't feeling grounded, and I literally just feel like a switch just clicked. Maybe my frontal lobe developed or whatever, but I was just like, I kind of just want to, like, spend this weekend by myself. If you're like Siveen and, like, you genuinely love being there, like, every weekend, it doesn't matter, you love being there, you're gonna have a harder time, like, saying no, for sure. And in terms of, like, helping those folks, I don't know, do you have any tips? Were you ever able to say no?
No. So I, like, in college, no, I never got to the point where I could comfortably be like, no, because there's so many people to meet.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people at this school to meet. There's so many friendships to be had. I could find my husband tonight. I could find my new best friend. And I was always like...
That's what kept the FOMO. That's what I was, you know what I'm saying? That's exactly what Siveen is talking about, is what kept pushing my FOMO forward. Because I was like, oh my God, what if this weekend, like, I meet a new friend, like, who becomes my new bestie? Or what if I meet my husband? Or what if, like, just something fun just happens? Like, you know, like, there's always opportunities for a new experience. But I think that you do extend yourself a bit, because even you're describing, you did extend yourself to get to live that lifestyle.
Yeah, like, I definitely didn't get to do, like, I was in Arizona and I had a pool at my apartment and I never went in it. And, like, I had a pool at my house when I lived in a house and, like, did not ever go in it. Like, I definitely missed out on a lot of that stuff, but I just knew I enjoyed going out at night more. So I, like, prioritized that.
Yeah. In college, you'll always have to sacrifice one thing for another. If you're like me, and I'm sure there are some of you out there.
There's 100% people like you. And me. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I'd say actually more you than me.
You think so?
Yeah, because there's not a lot of people that can just...
She's a machine.
Keep going. No, like, actually, like...
But the thing is, I totally get it because it was so fun. I had that period. And it was so fun, but it felt authentic to her. It did not feel authentic to me. And, like, you have to master the art of saying no. And, like, the beautiful thing about being authentic to yourself is that you're gonna find people that also like to do the things you like to do. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like, oh, I have to do this, like, this is what everyone else is doing. Like, I didn't like frat parties. I finally get to admit it. I hated them. I did not go past freshman year. I was just like, why are we all here sweating on each other? Like, it's dark, it's sweaty, the boys are freaky and they're ugly, and I just like I don't want to drink whatever the fuck is in that bucket. Like, I hated it. It just wasn't my jam. Siveen asked me how I did it. And I noticed this in college. People were surrounded by people who they felt wouldn't be their friends if they didn't participate in the things that they do. I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but if you are around people who you feel like, they probably haven't explicitly said it, but you have this feeling that if you don't keep up with the things that are going on, that these people aren't going to really want to hang out with you as much.
Why do you want to hang out with them if they don't do the things you do, though?
Because, like, you guys have other things in common.
Like what?
I don't know. Like, y'all, like... See, sometimes people's only thing in common in college is that they like to go out. That's crazy. That is crazy foundation for your friendship to be built on.
No, that's totally a valid concern. Like, if I stop going out, will these people still be friends with me? Probably not.
Yeah.
And you just have to, like...
But you don't want friends like that.
But the thing is, you have to know who you're becoming friends with when you become friends with them. If you have friends that go out every single night and then you just stop going out with them, you're probably going to miss out on a lot. And, like, how are you going to keep up?
Yeah. It's just a lot.
That's a harsh truth.
So are you saying that your going out friends are not quality friends?
No, they are, but like I'm saying, like my friends in college, like I had my sorority girls, we would go out all the time, but also like we just chill and like we could do both. I valued a friend to go out with more than a friend to study with. Because I knew I could do the other stuff on my own. Like, I can go and build my career on my own, network on my own professionally. I was comfortable doing all that stuff alone, but I wasn't comfortable going out alone. Like, I wanted to go out with friends, so I valued people that went out.
And here's the thing, like, I completely understand that. And I feel like in some ways I did too.
I just think you gotta have all types of friends. You gotta have your friends that you love going out with, and then you gotta have your, like, if you like to play sports, your athlete friends, and then you gotta have your more, like, serious school study friends. Like, I feel like I had all three of those, and I, like, lived a very nice, fun life. And then 100%. Sometimes your friends that don't go out as much, but you still love them, they will come out, which happened all the time.
Oh, like, that's the best.
Yeah, that happened all the time with me.
This is a life rule, who you surround yourself with. So if you're trying to be a more balanced person, surround yourself with pretty balanced people. And if you don't surround yourself with balanced people, you are going to have a lot of self-discipline. So you just got to know yourself.
Because they say you are who you hang out with. Yeah. But if you hang out with a ton of different types, you're just a good in-between.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully you're not leaning to one end.
This is what I want to say for people that are like me, that have the biggest FOMO ever and enjoy going out every single moment of it. If you're not in the mood, which obviously there were times where I wasn't in the mood, but I'm like, I have to go out because I have to meet people and blah, blah, blah. If you're not in the mood, you're not going to be in a good mindset and you're not going to meet good people, period. So don't go out if you're not in a good mindset.
100%.
Because then you're just gonna be hating your life when you're there and being like, wow, I'm not meeting any people. Why did I come out? I'm not, you know?
Also, another thing I'll say is that you can make academics social. A lot of times I was like in study rooms with people from my class, and me and my friends were taking the same class in different sections, and we were like in there with the whiteboard studying. Like, we had fun. You don't have to think of fun as only one thing. Like, making studying and classwork and things like that fun, that is a possibility. So if you want to like have a good social life work balance, incorporate the two together.
Yeah, that wouldn't work for me, but definitely do that if you...
Why wouldn't that work for you?
I wouldn't get on anything.
Yeah. Like, I guess it depends what kind of class. Like, in math classes, I got things, like, I needed people to, like, help me understand how to do problems and stuff.
Okay, right. I'd be helping everyone.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding, no. Sorry, that sounds cocky, but I always understand.
That's okay. Be confident. Yes, I love it.
Right.
Thank you for watching this episode of the College Podcast by Coursicle. If you have any questions for us,
if you want our next episode to be about something, please comment
it, DM us on Instagram, all of that. We'll check it, and we'll see you next time.